What's happening, family? I would like to welcome y'all to the Treehouse. This is 77 Tree, and this is the podcast in association with Full Circle Podcast in conjunction with the Bel Air Boys. I am Rondo, aka Parnell Shuttlesworth, BKA Yo Mom's Homie, aka Young Ash Ketchum, FKA Mr. Big Stuff, and my pronoun is Black Matrix. Here on this podcast, we like to discuss wrestling more than anything. We tend to dive off into other topics. We might do some cultural situations. We talk about top news every now and again, fashion, music, of course, movies, video games. We do a lot on this podcast, and we only gonna start to branch out even more. So what we're doing now is we getting back to the basics. A lot has been going on in wrestling over the past year. We got John Cena retiring. We got AJ Styles announcing his retirement. We had the return of Brock Lesnar. Just all types of shenanigans going on between AEW, WWE, TNA. NXT has been doing crazy numbers. Like, it's a real wrestling movement right now. And I'm lucky. I'm appreciative to be tapped in the way that I am. Now, let me just give y'all a quick rundown. On the podcast, we review wrestling matches and shows, PLEs. We do predictions, and more than anything, we give y'all our unbiased, sometimes biased, opinion. So this is mainly for the newer viewers, for the people who haven't been around or who are tapping in for the first time. And this is me and Drew. I forgot to talk about my co-host. Shout out my co-host, Andy Man X. One of the reasons the podcast kind of fell to the wayside is because Andrew ended up moving down south. Him and the wife had some opportunities to take a different route, hit the road and get down south and do some things, establish, their own footprint in the world. And he had nothing but my blessing. I love to see my people, our people, elevating themselves. It's a beautiful thing. So, but with that happening, you got moving, packing, unpacking, getting settled in your feet, finding employment. It's a whole plethora of things that you got to do. You know how that is. But, and then with me, life just got busy. Got work, holidays. With me, it was just mainly work and planning. Like, I'm hoping to move to a different place this upcoming summer. With that being said, I had to lock in and make sure I got all my numbers in order because I don't want to half-ass it and I don't want to wait to the last minute. But with Drew moving, it made it difficult for us to still get the podcast going on top of life just getting busy for the both of us. But with everything that's been going on, it's been two separate occasions for sure. I thought about bringing the podcast back. The first one was when Cena came to Chicago. I can't remember the date of the show, but it was during his run. I had the opportunity to get tickets, pump fake, and I didn't get them. And then I waited till like 3 days before the show, and all they had was balcony seats, $260-something a pop. So that wasn't happening. But I thought about bringing the podcast back when Cena first turned heel and when he pulled up to Chicago. I literally said I should probably just get back to it. On top of that, talking to some of the guys and women, because I got female friends that watch wrestling faithfully. They were like, if you bring it back, I would love to be able to come on and talk wrestling with you, And when we watch wrestling, because we'll hit the Discord, I'm going to drop all of my info and everything so y'all can stay in tune. I really be popping on TikTok more than anything. TikTok and Snapchat, I guess, but we watch wrestling. We've been streaming on Discord and watching and chatting on it through there, and it just got me back in the mood, got me back in the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So now the podcast 77 Tree. I bet you're probably wondering why 77 Tree. Well, it's because we're based out of Chicago. We're born and raised in Chicago. 773 is the area code of our neighborhood. Tree could be how they say it down south, all tree of y'all. But it also could be for plants. I'm a big plant person. I don't know what you call them. botanist. Not that. I'm not that. Just like plants. Yeah. 7-7 tree. You know what I mean. Anyway, on this episode, what I wanted to discuss was the December 9th showing of WWE Raw on Netflix. Bear with me as I grab my notes. So, this episode of Raw, it was there. I mean, it's funny how Triple H operates. And we all say Triple H because we know he oversees creative. He's the head of creative. I don't know who checks or if anyone checks after he does, but right now we kind of been on cruise control with the shows. But anyway, we're going to get right into it, man. So, episode starts with that John Cena last time is now promo. You know, where he comes on talking about how he want to give back this tournament that they putting together, got superstars from Raw, from SmackDown, from NXT. Y'all seen the promo. It's been airing since they announced the tournament. But we get a Gunther promo to start the show. He comes out, his music hits, audience eats it up. They go right into it. He gets out there and he does his typical Gunther promo where he says something nice about the wrestler that he's confronting, like he's about to give them props and then spin it. But then he went all in. He said that he wants to be able to beat Cena at his best. He wants Cena to be the best, to bring the best version of himself, because he want to be able to beat the best so he can say that he's the best. Because everyone knows Cena's the best wrestler in the world. I did air quotes for the audio. Yeah, everyone wants to say Cena's he's goated for sure, not the best wrestler. But for what he's done, for what he's contributed, for the blood, the sweat, the tears, the time that he's put, yeah, he's definitely goated. Has nothing to do with his wrestling skills, in my opinion. But I get it. Now, a lot of people upset with the fact that Gunther is the one who's picked to be Cena's last opponent. They wanted Cena to face someone who's up and coming. Gunther's already established. They were saying something like a Javon Evans or maybe even an Obafemi. That would have been a good matchup. I think with Gunther going up against Cena and beating Cena, that puts Gunther in elite company. So now we can have the Gunther Brock Lesnar match, and it means more because both of them cats have been at Cena. So I can see the direction they're going. I also see what the audience is like, nah, we ain't having it. But he talks about how beating Cena will put him in elite company. He also mentions, they pull up a Cena timer, like a countdown clock. Shout out Y2J, because they've been dropping little hints here and there. He's on his way back. I'm gonna get to that part later, but yeah. Gunther comes out, cut a real quick skeeving promo about how he's gonna destroy Cena. Then they go into a recap of the end of Raw. Well, it was like a summary of it, but it was more so focused on the end of it because it was the tag match, if I'm not mistaken, between Io and Rhea versus Alexa and Charlotte when it all broke down and Asuka and Kairi came out and interfered. So they did a recap of that. Also, as Asuka and them were in the ring, ruining the match, they DQ'd that match. Raquel and Roxanne pull up. They put hands on them real quick. Then Liv pull up out the crowd because at this point you got 3 separate tag teams. But Charlotte and Alexa, they beat up. Asuka and Kairi, they going after Io and Rhea, but Liv came through, even the odds. Grabbed the tag titles, held the tag titles high. So it looks like Liv and Roxanne are able to coexist. I know a lot of people's wondering like what happened to the angle with that. Triple H is a slow chef. He likes to cook on the slow burners. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take his time with it, let it marinate. We'll probably get some type of something closer to Royal Rumble between Roxanne and Liv. Because as well as it seems, I don't think they'll be able to coexist. Storyline wise, I don't think they'll be able to coexist together. Not long term. Then they did all that setup because it was a Io versus Kairi match that was up next. I thought it was a decent match. No complaints really at all. Respectfully, I'm usually used to seeing Kairi botch a couple of moves or something. She's fully embraced the heel character now. She doesn't come off as a student who's nervous and underneath Asuka. She seems like her contemporary now. She was in the ring keeping up with Io, giving Io a hard time, to be honest, doing heel tactics. I like that out of Kyrie. And it's hard to have a bad match with Io Sky, man. My opinion, again, but that's almost damn near fact. Kyrie was out there with Asuka. She had some protection. So, of course, Io was out there with Rhea. Io did hit a super crazy suplex bridge on the apron. Like, I can't remember what the setup was, but they ended up on the apron of the ring, and Io hit a back suplex and bridged. So she just stayed in the bridge position. Poor Kyrie bounced off the edge, hit the floor, which led Io into getting up out of the bridge into a moonsault to the floor, landing on Kyrie. It was a good match. Of course, we had shenanigans. Asuka kept interfering, sneak attacking Io behind the ref's back, which will have Rhea run around to cut that off real quick. In the end, Io got the win. Asuka's shenanigans meant nothing. Rhea was able to fend her off, and Io picked up the win. Next, we go into Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed in the back, and they just chilling, chillaxing. In walks Logan Paul, looking dumb in the face. He's salty because he got jumped the week before and nobody had his back. He comes in basically demanding that we go jump Rey Mysterio for what they did to me. They look like Braun, he not trying to hear none of that. Bronson like, yeah, okay, whatever. But they indulge him. All right, yeah, sure, we got your back. It seemed like whatever they're not trying to play second fiddle to Logan Paul. He came in like he bossy and all this and that. Man. But anyway, Logan asks Heyman, can he talk to him? So he pulls him to the side. He tells Heyman, look, I want the guys to know that, yeah, they may have my back, but I got their back too. I have no idea what that was supposed to mean. Like, I don't think no one is afraid or fearing Logan Paul. Like, don't get it twisted. The boy is athletic. He's good in the ring, and he draws heat on the mic. That's what you want out of a professional wrestler. He's one of the better ones thus far. I don't want to say the other word, but for who he was and what he was doing, to see him enter a world that I'm familiar with, maybe not as physical, but yeah, he looks like he's been doing this for a while. Sidebar, you goddamn right we used to bedroom backyard wrestle, man. All that. I said bedroom. But we used to take the beds down, push them up against the wall, and we would wrestle in the room. Or we'll take the mattresses outside in the backyard, wrestle in the backyard. We used to real life do that. We had a belt and everything since 6th grade. So when I say I'm familiar with it, I done been tombstone on the edge of a bed frame and had a line, an indentation in my forehead for like a year. Like even when I frown right now, it still go right there. Anyway, I got sidetracked because like Logan Paul does work when he's in that ring. You can't deny that. But I just found it funny that he felt like he needed to let Paul Heyman know that he's got their back. Anyway, sorry about that. Heyman hands Logan's the brass knucks on some, just in case type stuff. This leads into a Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor match. That does not happen. But I'll let y'all know why it don't happen as soon as we get back from this break. Stay tuned. And we back. Oh, I hit the vape the wrong way. Okay, so you got Rey Mysterio coming out, getting ready to face Finn Balor. Except for he doesn't get a chance to face Finn because Logan Paul jumps in and attacks Rey Mysterio. He teases the brass knucks punch, and Rey gets a little bit of offense in. And then, out of nowhere, the goddog masked man popped back up. Came from out the crowd, jumps in the ring, looks, hits Rey with a stone. Then jumps up out of the ring, get up out of that. Now, let me pause. Touch on this for a second. I think that one of two things have taken place with this masked wrestler situation. And again, this is just what my mind has surmised from watching it and knowing what be going on or what's going on. They got to get the grammar together. First, it was either that they were going to try and swerve and use Austin Theory as the guinea pig or scapegoat, however you want to use it. But it backfired because the moment he came, the first interference at War Games when he climbed the cage, that was Austin Theory. I don't know if they expected us to recognize that as fast as we did. And I think that then they pivoted. I believe originally it was going to be Austin Theory. They were going to pretend like it was Seth Rollins and then reveal it was Austin. But we found out way quicker than they thought, and that's not a big enough move. I don't think an Austin Theory revealed behind the mask is a big enough move. Now, the other thing that I believe, and then they realized, oh, it's not a big enough move. Let's pivot. And I think that they're either going to drag this out to a Y2J return. And I know other podcasts have said this, but I thought this originally because all of the other hints that they've been dropping. If I'm not mistaken, in the Io Sky versus Kyrie Sane match, Kyrie put Io in the walls of Jericho. Not a Boston Crab. She didn't sit back on it. It wasn't the double leg. No, it was the walls, standing up with it. You got the John Cena countdown clock. I'm just saying, it could be a setup to where they use this person. Like, they wanted us to think it was Seth. They tried to swerve us with the Seth joint, but we weren't going. We found that it was Austin. So it's either they're now using it as a Jericho return or they're going to use that as another faction. So we know it's different individuals because the first one was Austin Theory. This person who was in the ring at Raw, Montez Ford. I believe that was Montez Ford. It didn't look nothing like Theory. He was slender, kind of tall, but still like he's not like you know how WWE have security, air quotes. All those security are up and coming wrestlers from the from their schools who's up and coming. I lose the words right now. That was not that. That's a professional wrestler. I believe it's Montez Ford. So it's either they're going to swerve us and build a faction, and then the leader of that faction will probably be Jericho, or they drag it out. And either way, I think the reveal is this Jericho. He always goes big. Pause when it comes to the returns. He's been doing his podcast, but we ain't seen him. He's not going back to AEW. That's for sure. That's for sure. He gets nothing out of going back to AEW outside of money. So I don't think he does that. But I don't think it's Seth Rollins at all. I don't think it has anything to do with Seth. Yeah, I think it's most likely a ruse for a big Jericho return. When we could see the Masked Man Saturday at Main Event during John Cena's match. I mean, if you want to do something magnificent, that's how, like, you can have him interfere. Gunther puts him in a sleeper. John Cena never give up, so he doesn't tap out. He passes out. You can't make John Cena. Oh my God. And this is crazy because Cena wants to give back. He wants to give back to the company. But his whole thing is never give up. You can't make him tap. Just let him pass out. Just let him pass out. Like, he fights and it's too much for him. Like, don't let him tap. I don't think that ends well. Anyway, I got sidetracked. So finally, Ray catches the stomp from the Masked Man. He gets up out of the ring. Logan hits Ray with the brass nut. Now, all of this is taking place. LA Knight then comes out. After this, LA Knight comes out then to, save Ray after he's already been knocked the fuck around. Sorry for cussing. LA Knight cuts a promo on Logan real quick and said he want to set up a match for the night. Then he goes crazy with the yes, yeah. I think he might have been trying to make a moment, but we go into commercial from that. Coming back from commercial, it's a promo where they're discussing The Rock's nomination for a Golden Globe for Best Male Actor for the Smashing Machine performance. Now, I still haven't seen that movie. Will I check it out? Yes. And I'll most likely do it this weekend. I just hope that the movie set out to do what he wanted it to do. I believe they were trying to stir up some Oscar buzz. They got Jumanji 3 they getting ready to go into production with, if they're not already doing it. The only thing I can say about The Rock is he's always been a big money draw up until I was a fan of Black Adam. Other people don't seem to like it like that. I rock with it, but and The Rock is he dropped weight to do some. He's shooting some movie where he plays. I forget the setup, but he had to drop weight for it. He lost. Remember a few weeks back, about a month or so, month and a half back, the pictures of The Rock had popped up, and he looked deflated. That's what that was. He was shooting a movie. If you didn't know, but then after that, we going to the War Raiders versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are the tag team champions currently, and they've been fighting champions. They've been on the show every Raw since they won the belts. They put them on the line to some degree. I was not really checking for this match because I don't care for the War Raiders. I don't know if it's the fact that the name change happened like 2 or 3 times. The presentation, never been a fan of that Viking old, like that's not my, excuse me. Or the fact that they're on TV for a while, then they're gone, on TV for a while, gone for a long time. Like that start and stop is never good for a push. So this match to me never really meant anything. I mean, they pre-announced it, but still, I'm like, they're not finna do anything. But during this match, you had the New Day ringside. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Grayson Waller. Still not sure what he's doing there, but yeah, and they doing their little shtick outside the ring. Excuse me. Good water. This match was decent. Again, the matchup of the super heavyweight versus the little guy. There was a spot in this match where Dragon Lee tried to pick up, I want to say Ivar, 300 pounds, could not get him up. And I thought originally it was the old go to lift him the first time, can't do it. Go to lift him the second time, can't do it. Then you get him up on the third joint, the crowd going crazy. He legit couldn't lift that man. He was too big. And then he had to, he might have really hurt his back, but he grabbed for his back like, you know what I'm saying? It was funny, but that definitely was not the plan spot. They also come back from commercial and they show Javon Evans in the ring. I mean, sitting ringside. Earlier in the night, they showed Obafemi. These two are on Saturday Night Main Event. Javon Evans is going to be teaming with Leon Slater, and they're fighting AJ and Dragon Lee. That's why they showed him in the crowd. Obafemi's going to be fighting Cody Rhodes. So these are non-title matches. So more of a showing. This is what Cena wanted. He wanted to give the younger talent a big stage. And the people on this show are the ones that stand out, I guess, according to backstage suits. Also, we have Bayley, who will be facing Sol Ruka. So we got a 4-match card for Saturday, which I'm locked all the way in. Anyway, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee get the win. Don't remember how. Really wasn't paying attention to the match, not gonna lie. It was okay. Nothing stood out though. Outside of that spot, nothing really stood out to me. Then you got the New Day getting into the ring where they looking like they about to, you know what I'm saying, try to rough up AJ and Dragon Lee after they just had this match, which is weak sauce. But before anything could jump off, you hear, it's just me, oops. Day one, it's just me, oops. Which is wild because it was Jimmy and Jay, and they were coming out of the audience. But I get it. And this is maybe close to an hour in the show, 45 minutes into the show. We just starting to yeet, so you got to come through the crowd. You got to yeet, even though it's just me, but now it's 2 of us. I thought that was hilarious. But they get into the ring, and they're cutting us a fiery promo, bro. Like, but I need y'all to pay attention, put your antennas up. Jimmy is planting seeds that will lead to a Jay heel turn. Because one of the first things that Jimmy says in his promo is that, yeah, my brother Jay been taking a lot of losses. He lost to so-and-so over here. He lost to so-and-so over there. Like he's recanting, or shall I say recalling the losses that Jay been dealing with. And Jay just kind of sitting there like, kind of almost like he want to tweak off, but he don't. But it looked like he wanted to, but he didn't. Then Jimmy say after all of that, he asked Jay, what we doing, Oos? Like you can see, it's good to see them back, but I need to. This crowd was kind of weak, by the way. Also, like I don't remember where they were, but they weren't live enough. See, in Chicago, we be going crazy. It gets nuts at these shows in Chicago. Jimmy gets the mic and he's going off. Like he's hot. Pause. He is letting both of these teams know what the business is. He tell AJ and Dragon Lee, like, look, we ain't never faced y'all. We don't know. Y'all don't know about us. We don't know about y'all. But then he turned to the New Day. He say, but they do. And the crowd get lit. Because Usos versus New Day done had some barn burners, boy. And I almost thought I was good. I almost was like, nah, I don't need no more of that. I'm straight. Whole time, nah. Run it back. Run that back. Run that back. Oh yeah, and they also ran it back. They intro, I forgot that part. They intro through the crowd, got in the ring, looked at AJ and Dragon Lee, looked at Xavier and Kofi, and was like, we gotta, we gonna have to. And Xavier was like, no, no, no. And they ran it back. The intro, it ran it right back. Hilarious every time it happened, boy. Okay. Then Jay goes off. He let him know, like, look, tag team. Jimmy lets him know we back as a tag team. Jay lets him know we coming for the gold. We gonna fight them first, and then we coming for them. So we got two things lining up right now. We got Jimmy and Jay going for the tag team titles, and I think all of this is setting up for Jay heel turn. Do they get the titles? I don't. You can give them the titles and take them away, and that can make Jay spiral. Whatever happens, I believe it's going to have to be Jay's fault. Jay's going to have to feel like he's not worthy, like he's not good enough. Because he already mentioned how the belts only look good on Roman's shoulder, not his. So, like, he's dealing with some self-doubt and stuff right now. And I believe that whatever's about to happen with the tag team between Jay and Jimmy, it's going to lead into a heel turn for Jay. I was saying maybe because I'll tell y'all what I think. Heel turn for Jay. Cody's going to have to turn heel at WrestleMania in order to defeat Roman. And I would like to see those two link up. And a heel Cody with a heel Jay. I think that's box office. That's what I was hoping for. After that, the next segment you got Stephanie Vaquer. She comes down and cuts a promo. I forget which Kelly was in the ring, but I'm sure it was a Kelly. Stephanie cuts the promo on Nikki Bella, how 15 years ago you was whatever, the bomb, this, that, and the third, but now we got Bayley, we got real female wrestlers back here that do work, and she mentioned how she's basically over because she could wrestle. It's not just because of one move. That's what this promo was about. Because she mentioned it, but her English isn't the best. So you almost had to watch it twice in order to really hear what she said. Because the crowd didn't really react when she said what she said. Anyway, Nikki comes out. She's trying to cut a promo. She talks about how whatever town she's in sucks and how she wants a rematch against Stephanie, which boggles my mind because she didn't even wrestle anybody. She came right in. I mean, she had that little whatever, but she came right in and got a title shot. How that work? Where they do that at for real? Wasn't a fan of that. But we ain't got to worry about it because Big Mommy Cool come in out of nowhere. Lawn darts, like straight jacking. Picks up Nikki Bella, chucks her into the ring post outside. That's how it sounded. She hit the ground. Out of there. Kel gets to the ring. Let Stephanie know, like, look, you name the time and the place because I want a shot. I want that belt. Then she said some Spanish in between. Mine isn't the best right now. It's not the strongest. But so we'll be having that match set up. I'm not sure if it's going to be next Raw. It won't be on Saturday, though. But that is planting seeds between Liv, Raquel, Roxanne, and the Judgment Day. Because I believe they're now going to try to pick up the storylines that they dropped before Liv went out. They just are going to build into it. They're going to make it seem like Liv and Roxanne can work together when they can't, and then it'll break down. I want to see how they play this because there's a couple of routes you can go with this. You could do it one way where it turns Raquel and Roxanne babyface. I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if they'll be a tag team long term. They've been calling for Liv and Dom to leave the Judgment Day. So you could do something where you turn Liv babyface, with maybe Raquel and Roxanne turn on Liv. That's always good heat. So that match is going to be set up. That goes into another John Cena promo where he's talking about the energy that he puts into the matches. How when he was told he couldn't wrestle from the audience, that didn't make him bitter, didn't make him mad, and made him work harder. I mean, I appreciate the way he accepted that, but I'm not sure if that's the case. It took a while for him to really he was the man when you on top, all you got to do is stay afloat, and he was the golden goose. That's why he never went heel. Why would you turn a money-making babyface? I mean, the only time that worked is with Hogan, and it's hard to catch lightning in a bottle. And people are so nervous about risking it, they don't attempt it. And when they do, you get the first 5 months of John Cena's retirement. Anyway, we'll get ready and take another break. When we come back, we're going to try to wrap up the last parts of this episode. We got another couple of matches and another fiery promo. We're going to get into it as soon as we get back. Hold on. Yes, sir. We're back. Thank y'all for staying tuned in. I appreciate it so very much. I'd like to welcome y'all right back to 77 Tree. Let's get back into this episode of Raw, December 9th, 2025. So we go into a backstage promo with the Judgment Day. We haven't seen them all evening outside of, the TV promos and Raquel just coming out real quick. But Liv is hot because, well, I ain't gonna say she hot. She's kind of looking salty, maybe coming off cynical because Raquel's getting a shot at the title. And she's like, no, it's all good. Now she can get to go for the tag team titles with Roxanne. Roxanne looking like, hold on, this wasn't the plan. This ain't that. And I thought it was hilarious because all of it is going to lead to Liv probably spazzing out, getting salty, and turning on them. And if that happens, if Liv turns and that makes Raquel and Roxanne baby faces, I think they still cheer Liv. Liv is just over right now. They like what she's doing. So all of that was set up because Roxanne got a match against Lyra Valkyria. Liv volunteers to go out and have Roxanne's back during the match. So then they go out there for that match. Good match. They got good chemistry together. Roxanne and Lyra, they had real good chemistry together during this match. A lot of reversals in the beginning. Liv was out there with Roxanne. Bayley was out there with Lyra. And so if you've been following, Bayley was doing this split personality gimmick where she had been on a losing streak and she was kind of lost, not knowing what to do. She began to start hearing the old versions of her wrestling characters. So she heard the hugger Bayley trying to be upbeat and positive. And then at times she would hear the Bayley that was with Damage Control. And I'm not sure if there's ever been just thinking real quick, I'm not sure if there's ever been a gimmick like that. And I like what they were doing. I mean, it's touch and go. You got to be careful. But the way she was playing it, it came off like she was almost I want to say a little psycho. Because when she would go into Hugger Bayley, she was super fun, happy. Y'all remember Hugger Bayley? That's how she was. But when she would go into Damage Control Bayley, she was an a-hole. She was mean. She would push Lyra. They would be in a tag team. Bayley would get hit too hard in the head, and then she would turn the dial up to 100 and just go off on whoever was in her path. But it seems that they've dropped that gimmick to some degree because, I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe they got some backlash from it. No pun intended. But I haven't seen her do anything that made me think she was flipping from the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. And I would love to see them pick that back up and figure out something with it. But yeah, Bayley was out there to help protect Lyra. Like I said, it was a decent match. Nothing really to write home about. There was some, again, wrestling ring shenanigans. Liv kept trying to interfere. At some point, Liv got on the apron, and as Roxanne Irish whipped Lyra into the ropes, she turned around, and I thought it was a kick to the head that Liv gave her, but apparently she poked her in the eye. I didn't rewatch to double check, but I heard that she poked Liv in the eye. Lyra in the eye. That's how Roxanne was able to hit her with the pop rocks and get the 1, 2, 3. Again, I believe all of this is setting up a breakup of either damage control, Judgment Day altogether, or a separation with Liv and Dom from the group. Because Dom has also been low key separating himself slowly but surely from the group. Him and Finn been into it, and Finn still wants that belt. Don't get it twisted. Then we go into the Maxine promo, a training montage. In this montage, she's putting different female wrestlers in the ankle lock quick as hell. Just wrapping them up and then yelling, "Another one!" Like, I can't wait to see this gimmick play out like in a real match, because the backstage shots that they're getting makes it look vicious. But I can't picture Maxine in a ring being that. Like, I want that. I can't see it. But in this promo, she probably put like 5 or 6 females in ankle locks quick. Then her and Natty going to it. Last week, Natty got her. This week, Maxine got her. She put her in the ankle lock, and Natty didn't want to tap. She fought it off for a minute, and they had a good back and forth. And mind you, this isn't a match. This is just like a backstage earlier shot vignette. Man, she got her in the ankle lock, and the way she applies it is so mean, so mean. Like, if she gets you in it, you ain't getting out. Natty tap, and then Maxine yells for another one. Yeah. The earlier promo, I got that promo mixed up with John Cena. Earlier, I mentioned that the promo he was talking to the reporter, and the promo that he cut was about the audience chanting, "You can't wrestle." That wasn't that early. I got that mixed up with, so there were 3 Cena video promos on this episode. I mixed up the second and the third. The second one was him speaking about the energy that he puts into his matches. But it's the same, you dig. Like, they gonna play them 3, 4 more days in a row before the match. So forgive me if I got that twisted a little bit. But then we go into LA Knight versus Logan Paul. This is the main event. LA Knight mad, so he just want to take out some frustrations. Him and Logan Paul have a good back and forth. I know that they've wrestled before. I don't know if it was for the time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, LA Knight got the title from him. He won the title off of Logan Paul. That's how he won the U.S. title. But this match was always going to be a situation where LA Knight was not going to survive. What I didn't realize was that they were going to squash this man. Him and Logan having a decent-ass match. Then the Vision, they come out. Braun Breaker comes out, distracts the ref. Bronson comes on the other side, headbutts LA Knight. Ref, for whatever reason, because usually they're not this wise, he recognizes what happened. He kicks both of Bronson and Braun up from ringside. Doing that, guess who pulls up? The Masked Man. And he slows up, stumps LA Knight, and then gets up out of there again. And this is the same dude from earlier in the night, who I believe was Montez Ford. So that happened. And then Logan Paul got the win. After that, Logan and Braun hold LA Knight down. Bronson tsunamis him 2 times, back to back, real quick. He's selling the ribs, selling them. They got to pull him up out of there. Refs, doctors come get him. That's when Heyman begins to cut a promo. Now, during this promo, they cutting backstage to show LA Knight walking off. LA Knight cuts a little promo. Paul Heyman cuts his little promo, and then Braun gets the mic. And he cuts one of his Steiner promos like I love and like only he can. And I won't go into verbatim, but I'll say this part. He said, "Punk, if you don't show up, if you don't bring the whole shebang, if you don't bring the old Punk, the Punk from 2011, 2012, 2013, the Punk that beat The Rock, he wants to fight the old CM Punk. If he don't get that, he's going to Braun break him. He's going to destroy him. He's going to take his title, and hell, while he's at it, he'll even take his wife." That's what this man said to him. And Paul Heyman sold it. He's oh you I wish you wouldn't have said that. Oh, don't no. And the whole time they're cutting backstage, showing LA Knight. Braun getting pissed because he's saying he's not done. Then this is where they lost me. Braun goes into a spear. 1, 2, 3. He says Punk, he's gonna make it real easy for him. Spear, 1, 2, 3. And he said it like 5 times. Then he did the little Braun break your head thing. But he's like, got real quiet with it. He was like, spear, 1, 2. Then they show LA Knight backstage again. And they keep cutting back there, and I'm not sure why, but they ain't do nothing but piss them off. Logan and Bronson goes back there, and they attack LA Knight again. And they put the boots to him on through a table. Stage. They trying to walk off. They, man, it's over with. Stay down, you dumb. Don't get back up. He calls them some sons of bees, and they go back at him. They drag him into the parking lot. LA Knight is done. He mush. He's over with. This is when I knew, wow, something's crazy going on. They throw him on top of a Chevy SUV. Bronson climbs up to on top of a metal scaffolding. Tsunami on top of the car. LA Knight is done. He's going to be hurt. For how long? I don't know. But you don't do all of that to a man to have him show up Friday or Saturday or Monday without dealing with some real repercussions. So I don't know what this was, but it seemed like they just got my man off of TV for a couple of weeks. One of the favorite parts of the show, Adam Pearce screaming for a medic. Give me some medic. Give me some medic. Give me some medic out here. Adam Pearce be selling his tail off, boy. My man be acting. He needs a drink. But yeah, that's how the show ended. LA Knight getting tsunamied on top of a Chevy truck. Overall, it was a decent show for a Raw with no superstars. We had no Cody. We had no Punk. We had no AJ. We had no Roman. And the crowd chanted for Roman, but that was during Braun's promo. But they were chanting because of Bronson. And then when Braun started calling out Punk, they talked about Punk. I mean, they chanted for Punk. But neither one of them guys were there. So it was kind of wild. For a show with no like main attraction stars, it was a decent show. It set up some things. You just have to know what you're watching. You got to know what to look for. It was a decent, on a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, I give it a solid 7. Like, for doing what they did, that's because they planted seeds with the Judgment Day story. They did it with the Judgment Day with Liv and Raquel and Roxanne. And then you got, check these. I don't know, might be Brian. I can't remember right now. I'm starving. I haven't eaten yet. So my mind is a little all over the place. Oh, it might have been the December 8th episode. What's today, Wednesday? Yeah, it was the December 8th episode. I told y'all. You gotta bear with me, man. It's the first episode back. I'm gonna get it together, though. That'll probably do it for this episode. I appreciate the love and the support. Please like and share this podcast with whoever likes to watch and listen to wrestling. I'm gonna get the gang back together to do a couple of streaming episodes. Plan on going live. I don't know if I'll go live, but I'm gonna record Saturday, and I'm gonna do not a watch along because we're gonna watch along on Discord, but I'll do a review after the episode airs, record that, and I'll get that up Sunday morning. I'll have that up for sure. So you can find me on TikTok. I'm Rondo01. That's RONDOUGH1. TikTok. You'll see my face. On PS5, yo_moms. That's MOMS_homie. HOMIE. That's on the PS5. Find me there. Instagram, Parnell _ Shuttlesworth. PARNELL_H. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. For my man, Eddie Man X, and all the guys in the back, all the ladies up top. No, I'm just playing. But to everybody who followed and liked the podcast in the past, let everybody know we coming back around. The next episode I'm gonna record, I'm gonna try to get it done tomorrow so I can have it up before Friday night. I'm gonna do a prediction. I'm gonna do a prediction recording. I'm going to do Saturday night main event. I'm gonna talk about who I think gonna win, how the shit gonna play out, and we gonna rock it like that. Sorry for cussing, but I gotta get up out of here. I'm hungry. God, I'm starving. But with that being said, I think that's about it, y'all. Thank you so very much for staying locked in with us this long. We're gonna get it all back together. We got a lot of more things coming as well. But again, if you liked what you was listening to, tap in, subscribe to us, like and share the podcast. We're gonna get this thing back rocking the way it was. I am your host, Ronnie Doe. I bid you adieu. Good night.